welcome to another episode of the Sunday Success Sessions. Now, for those of you who have been following my YouTube channel, you know that I'm conducting a Conscious Creators Masterclass every single Sunday from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., where I teach you the 3 skill sets: communication, intentional and attentional communication, besides other ways of communicating; how to establish mental and emotional balance from where you are now. It doesn't matter what your state is now. You can get to where you want to go with scientific incremental steps or even giant leaps, depends on how prepared you are. And the third one is, are you aware of how to advance your career or your business? And I'm not talking about soft skills and I'm not talking about business plans. I'm talking about from an internal mapping point of view, by understanding what is it that you really want and who are you really as a person. What is your purpose? What do you really want to achieve? So if you want to know more about that, then just click the link in the show notes below and it will take you right to the registration page, and you get 4 gifts in your inbox just for registering for the masterclass. Now, I don't know in all honesty how long it's going to be available for free and the regularity of these classes, but I'm definitely having one on the 30th of April, so I'll see you there. Now, today I've chosen a topic that one of my mentors talks a lot about, and it's mindset, motivation, and method. And the reason I've chosen this is because it's so important for us to understand our mindset, to understand what exactly is motivation and how can we use it, and to understand the method of how to get to where we want to go. So let's talk about mindset. Now, you know that I'm a mindset coach among the many qualifications and certifications that I possess. One of them is mindfulness and mindset reset. And so mindset plays a really important part in all my trainings, whether they are my program for women, Shakti, whether it's coaching people as an ICF coach, whether it's meditation, whether it's Kundalini yoga, whether it's energy therapy, energy protocols. I combine all these in order for a person to achieve what they want to achieve, and by catering to different aspects of a person. And mindfulness is something that must be cultivated. And yes, I'm using the word must because that's how important it is. If you do not cultivate mindfulness in your life, you end up being scattered. You don't know what it is that truly matters to you. You're constantly oscillating between the past and the future. You're getting dragged into the past or you're getting pushed into the future by people, by circumstances, by events, by things that shouldn't really be shaking you to that extent. Because what you make of your life depends on you. And you can work in any environment to get you to where you want to go. And I'm not being boastful about this. During COVID, my entire business collapsed. Being a coach, being a mindfulness trainer, being an energy therapist, I was contemplating on certain days of even what was the use of living. I was going down a rabbit hole, and pretty quickly, till I realized that I needed to shift my mindset through the methods and practices that I learned from great mentors. Now, knowing something and actually doing something with it is very different, right? And that's why I branded myself as a CTA coach, conception to action coach, because knowing something, having knowledge about something is no guarantee for success, because knowledge is potential power. But taking action on that knowledge is real power. And if you look at all the great people in this world, including in your own life, if you look at a Mother Teresa, if you look at an Oprah Winfrey, if you look at a PV Sindhu, if you look at a Virat Kohli, if you look at a Sachin Tendulkar, if you look at a Roger Federer, whoever it is, whether their purpose was to be rich or whether their purpose was to excel in their field, or for instance, Mother Teresa, her purpose was to provide value, and she wanted to cut across all barriers, and she wanted people to feel loved. Lepers, beggars, people who were ostracized, people who were thrown out of society, people who had nobody to love them. She wanted them to feel the love of Christ. So my question to you is, what is your mindset? Is your mindset stuck with a fixed mindset? Or is your mindset in a growth mindset? Are you able to see yourself where you want to be? Do you believe in yourself? Is your mindset constantly growing, evolving, moving? Or is it stuck because you think you're a victim of circumstance? And when you come to my masterclass, I'll really show you how to work with this tool. But I want to keep this video crisp and short because I'm really busy, but I still wanted to deliver content to you. So let's move on to the next one. And what's the next one we're talking about? So now let's go on to understanding motivation. Now, motivation is such a buzzword, right? In any self-development, personal development course, you would have heard of a speaker, the speaker, or multiple speakers talking about motivation and how you can use motivation as a tool. But motivation depends upon many things. It depends upon dopamine. It depends upon where you are in your life. It depends upon whether you have a growth mindset or a fixed mindset. It depends upon whether you're mindful. So motivation is something that you can use when you are in a certain state. Motivation cannot be used by people who are experiencing depression, or people who are constantly distracted, or people who don't have a zest for life, or people who don't take themselves or their goals or their dreams seriously. They'll be motivated for one day and then unmotivated. How many people do you know who make a resolution to go to a gym every single year and then they drop out by the second week of February? Why aren't they motivated? It's because of their value system. It's because of their beliefs. If your beliefs, if your values, if who you are as a person is not in sync with what you're trying to achieve, you're not going to be able to be motivated, no matter if Tony Robbins or Bob Proctor or Brian Tracy or Dr. John DeMartini or whoever else, if Oprah Winfrey gave you a motivation talk, or if she even invited you for free to learn from them, you wouldn't be able to do it. Because your mindset, your beliefs, your values are not in line with what it is that you're going after. So what is it that you want, and how can you keep yourself accountable to being motivated to push further? It also depends upon the state of your health. People, tell me that I fast too long because I do long fast, 24 hours, 36 hours, 72 hours. I get into bed before 10. I wake up before 5. Monday to Sunday, Sunday to Monday. I hardly go out. I rarely drink alcohol. I rarely eat red meat because I've realized that my body is now evolved as an older woman. And I'm not saying older in my mindset, I'm saying older biologically. I'm in my 40s now. My body is changing. And I've recognized that if I'm not in sync with my body, with my mind, with my soul, psychologically, emotionally, mentally, no matter what the task is at hand, I can't get myself to be motivated to do it. If you're not sleeping well, if you're not eating correctly, if you're not meditating, if you're not resting, if you don't have a good, wholesome social circle around you, you're not going to be able to be motivated, because please remember, you are the sum total of the 5 people's company that you keep. Napoleon Hill said this, okay? Why? Because the mindset of people rubs off on you. And if they are motivated, if they are pushing, if they are going, if they are reaching, if they are striving, they're going to give you that dopamine hit every time. And every time you get that dopamine hit, you're going to be more motivated. Okay? So just a short thing on motivation. Join the masterclass and you can hear much more. Or just join the Conscious Creators Academy because it's absolutely brilliant. I created it. I know its value. And I'm telling you it's absolutely brilliant because it's already changing lives. Anyway, let's move on to the next one and talk about method. And now the last one that we're talking about is method. What methods are you using to get to where you want to go in terms of your goal or your desire? What methods have you used that have not worked? Have you done a life audit? Have you done an assessment of what's working and what's not working? Because if you don't do an assessment of what's working and not working, you don't have any active feedback, any real-time feedback. I do an active feedback every single Sunday. I sit in a quiet place at my desk. I put on some classical music and I really think about what have I done that didn't work last week and what do I need to do to fix it this week. If you don't take assessment, if you don't use new methods, for example, a lot of people come to my webinar, and I'm saying this with your interest in mind. A lot of people come to my webinar and they've got a lot of things like procrastination, lack of clarity, fear, irritability, a bad relationship with spouse, not getting a raise in their job, not able to get funding for their startup. So they've got a lot of problems, right? Because I'm asking people to post their 3 challenges, and then in the Q&A for 20 minutes, I take live questions. But when I ask them, are you ready to receive a new method? Are you ready to join my boot camp at the price of a coffee for two at your favorite coffee outlet? It's that cheap for a whole month, and it's only half an hour per day, and you get recordings. When I ask people that, they all just drop off. And it's fine if they drop off. I cannot serve people who are not ready to being served. But then if you keep complaining that I've tried this and I've tried that and I've done this and I've done that and I attended 20 webinars last year and nothing happened, it's because you didn't take the mentor up on their offer to do it their way, which is a tried and tested way. Now, I can't speak for other mentors because I don't know them personally, but I've mentored with the best of the best, from Tony Robbins to Bob Proctor to Dr. John DeMartini to Donna Eden, to many, many great teachers that I can think of at the top of my head. These are a few that come to mind. Dr. Daniel Goleman for emotional intelligence. I spent a huge amount of money, a couple of lakhs, to become an ICF coach, the International Coaching Federation, which is the gold standard for coaching in the world. So I know how to guide people. I know what to do with people. I'm an energy therapist. I've done my pranic healing. I've done my EFT certification. So I know what blocks to fix with people, how to make it effortless for them. Maybe not effortless, but how to guide them around the path so it seems like it's easier than if they were doing it alone. So you can do 1,000 things and you can try many things on your own, but you need a formula. You need a method. So what methods have you tried that have failed? And what methods are you willing to try? And do you want to sign up with a mentor? I'm not saying me, it could be anybody. Are you willing to trust somebody who has done it 1,001 times before, minimum? If they've done it before, and if they have happy clients, then why don't you take them up on their method to get you to where you want to go in the least possible time on the path of least resistance? Think about it. Mindset, motivation, and method can be taught to you beautifully through a coach or a mentor or a therapist. But you've got to decide, are you willing to take on these 3 M's in this next quarter of 2023 to make your life unstoppable and to become the conscious creator that you are? Now, if you like this content, please share it with more people. Please click the bell icon so you never miss a session with me. And also, don't forget to subscribe, because if you don't subscribe, you won't know and you won't be able to click the bell icon. I release videos almost every single Sunday. I'm saying almost because before I used to do it every week for the last almost 10 months. But because of my new Conscious Creators Academy, I'm kind of doing many things and have to serve my community also. So maybe I do shorts in some weeks, but I'm going to try and do regular long-form videos besides shorts on my YouTube channel. Till I see you again, stay true to being you, because you matter, and I'm your sister in alignment and healing from my heart to yours. Atma Namaste, and I'm Avril Quadras.